afternoon, everyone. This is RAND. Welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Friday, June 6, 2025, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. We're having a reverse aging health call and all the rest tonight after 9:15 p.m. Eastern. Surrender gives you the eyes to see God, and everything that is brought to these eyes becomes divine. Osho. You want to make sure you're in a comfortable position with no outside interference, relaxed into your body, still as a statue and focused on your breath, rising and falling. If we ask ourselves the question, what is God? Right? What is God? The source of God is the foundation of your very being. It is your essential essence, your true life force, and the very fabric of your soul. When you can truly relax inside of yourself, you create room to fully connect with this divine source, from which every life experience emanates. The deeper you can let go and rest into your body and mind, the deeper you dive down the rabbit hole, discovering that this experience of God is the foundational truth of who and what you really are. So what is God? You're the God. The God within you, the soul, the pure consciousness. Within the soul is the God. You are the God. We are all the God. Now, when you fully realize that God exists, when you fully realize that God exists inside you, there is a feeling of deep relief like nothing you've ever experienced your entire life. It's as if you were holding your breath underwater all this time and have exploded up to the surface for your first breath of air. You feel like you can take in life in its totality with such a great lightness and buoyancy that you often feel like you're floating on air. To lift your consciousness is to ground it deeply. To do this, all that is needed is the state of surrender. To completely surrender means you are not only willing to let go of your mind and every thought inside your mind, yet that willingness is also relieved of its duty. You have completely let go. Now, this is a continual process for every one of us, a perpetual release every day, where you no longer are holding on tight to anything. Your ego's desires move to the back burner of the stove of your life. And you trust the synchronistic flow of this universe instead. Trust takes the front burner over your desire. And you choose to surrender to each experience. Not because you have to, but because it feels so good. There is this constant merging with what is that feels lighter and more free on the inside. From this place, whatever you want is what God wants. You will become God's will. God's will becomes your will. You become grounded in the divine reality. This grounded, enlightened state only happens through total, continuous state of surrender. So the big question for you to ask yourself today is, what causes you not to be grounded in God? What choices are you making that aren't allowing you to enjoy your life, relax into your body, and trust the divine? This is a unique and personal answer for everyone. That there's a 99% chance it has something to do with being wrapped up in attachment to desire. Attachment to any one desire is what makes you think you're separate from God. Being deep in desire makes you think you need to go someplace better, have more money and things, because a better being also become a better being. Also that you can eventually find happiness, fulfillment, and peace later on. Desiring all these things makes you reach, push, and lunge out for that carrot and overlook the God source that is already within you here now. Desire is a tricky thing because we also need desire to keep life alive, flowing, and karmically moving. Without desire, we'd be all like a bunch of bumps on the log. Now, it may sound nice to some, yet honestly, how many years can one really enjoy being a bump on the log? The secret to having a great relationship with your desires is trusting that all your wishes are also God's wishes for you. Know that this universe is a team player who is on your team, doing everything necessary to manifest your needs at the right time and place. Doing everything necessary to manifest your needs at the right time and place. And when you truly surrender and trust that this universe is always working for you and never against you, then you're able to relax fully inside your body and find a deeply grounded experience in the divine. Our biggest challenge is really to discover that we are God. And when you look at all the programming that's gone on this planet, for generations, think about it. We've got all this misdirection, thousands of religions, and being taught about living a lie, believing the lies, generation after generation. Now, if you should ever believe that God's will and your will are different, your ego is playing a game with you. You are never separate from God. Now, you only think you are trapped in a state of difficulty and suffering because there is some idea that you are separate. And this is what ego is all about. Ego is simply a tension, an identity, a separate goal-oriented mind inside you that is all about serving the little me, to attain its personal success and agenda. It has nothing to do with merging an existence, merging with existence. Are you living from your microcosmic self or your macrocosmic self? Micro's real small. Macro's large. Try living from both and see what occurs. Only living from ego's needs always leads to future suffering. This is what perpetuates the cycle of needing, having, possessing, wanting, and then grasping for more. True surrender is perpetually trusting. It's a deep letting go of the ego's ideas about what you want and do not want. When you do let go, you start abiding in the sacred home and heart where God is. And manifesting your desires simply happens. Feels like extra long on the cake. Knowing this is true wisdom and the source of where real freedom, empowerment, love, and lightness will shine through. The apparent presence of the mind is the doorway to awakening. Make peace with the mind in every moment, and you will experience total bliss. Angela Walker. Now, another absolutely phenomenal way to be grounded in God is to slow your life way down. Walk slower. Eat slower. And just do things at half the speed you normally do them at. People easily miss God when they rush through their day. Rushing through any life experience is like an act of violence against your soul. It means you're attached to the mind, still chasing after that carrot and overlooking the sweet, old, loving, divine source that is here to be enjoyed at the core of your very being. Now, if you're hurrying to get here and there, you eventually get into the habit of feeling behind, overwhelmed, never on top of your life. You stop believing in destiny, and you start beating yourself up about things that should or shouldn't have happened. When you slow down, you'll notice that every single problem you have is because you are not fully here now, grounded in God. And when the ego stops pushing you to get to the next experience so that you one day find happiness, you'll drop the amnesia of what your life mission really is about. The day you are 100% surrendered to the God source, all your problems will have faded away, and you'll see everything is deep, eternal love in disguise. Now, something you can do, we can all do. You know, I usually pick like a week or two, and you practice feeling how much this universe truly loves you and supports you. You find some activity or community event that you want to go to that will be full of people who you do not know. You can simply visit a store, city, or shopping mall. And when you enter the room full of people, imagine your heart is expanding to the size of the room. And as you consciously expand your heart, say to yourself, everyone here is happy to see me and loves me. And then walk around the room or store with this loving consciousness in place. And look people in the eyes. Look deep into their soul. And do not be afraid to penetrate their mind and be penetrated. Just look with eyes filled with love. This will instantly put a stop to any loveless world that they may be caught in and remind them that they are loved. Keep walking around randomly, sending love into their hearts, and notice how people treat you. You will be amazed at how much love you feel from others and how good you feel at the end of this exercise. And throughout the week, interact with everybody you know from this open, loving space. Enjoy the experiences. You are about to have the most amazing, loving week of your life. Now, if you feel that you have a specific dream or desire that is just too big for you to achieve, then it's time to start using a super fuel to get your manifesting engines roaring. Perhaps you have this lofty goal that's as difficult to reach as flying to the moon on a paper airplane. Maybe you want to erase a huge debt, triple your income, take a 6-month trip around the world, manifest your soulmate, run a marathon, write a bestseller, or perhaps become a famous musician. Whatever it is that you want, big or small, it does not matter. When you feel this deep, intimate connection with the all-powerful universal God source, you know that anything is possible for you. All dreams and desires are manifested with effortless ease for someone who is in touch with the universal mind. The moment you feel this connection with this universe and start visualizing what you want, magical things begin to occur. How much time do you spend consciously feeling connected to this universe and visualizing that your desires are coming your way? 5 seconds or 5 minutes? What are you spending your time visualizing? Are you imagining what you want or what you do not want? Are you wasting your time watching someone else on TV live out their life's dream? If so, how is this habit empowering you? Now, back in 2004, they did a study. What was that, 21 years ago? That's a long time ago. By University of California. The average American watches 170 minutes of TV a day. What would happen if you took the time to visualize yourself manifesting your ideal dream life instead of entertaining the ego watching TV? Watching TV is an activity that lowers your overall manifesting vibration because most shows, movies, and programming are focused on some complaint or horrific drama about life. Doesn't matter. You kind of look at them. It's like soap operas, pretty much. If you want to increase your vibration and start living an empowered life that you love, turn off the outer TV. Devote that time to your inner TV. Use your time on this planet wisely. Your mind is very powerful. Harness it to only visualize yourself doing what you most want to see, experience, and have manifested with the inner TV of your mind. Now, many of us have been caught in old visualization habits of worrying, fearing, and hoping things are different than what they are. Just notice where you are spending your time on activities that are not boosting your manifesting vibration. Perhaps you keep affirming that you want to change your life and manifest more abundance, yet you constantly slip back into familiar patterns of procrastinating, hoping, praying, and wishing things would change. If you are engaging in any activities that are leaking your manifesting energies, you are probably experiencing what it feels like to run up a mountain of molasses and slipping back down. If there is one thing that is 100% certain in this world, it's that your entire life will change when you truly shift your mind set. Now, engaging your super manifesting booster rocket is learning how to generate a magical manifesting mindset. It comes to you, you don't go to it. In other words, something comes to you, you act on it or you don't. It comes to you. You don't go to it. If you end up going to it, it's ego mind. So what's going to happen? Well, you're definitely going to suffer. It's a decision sooner or later every one of us are going to make. It's like, you ask yourself these questions. Do I believe, truly, not superficially, do I believe that everything that I desire or want to have happen will happen? Truly, though, say. Most of us superficial ego mind. And then we'll doubt the statement we make to ourselves. Then the doubt comes into fear. In humans and in nature, the early bird definitely gets the biggest worms. We found that one of the most important aspects of all is getting your manifesting mindset going the night before so that the moment you wake up, you are pouncing on your dream life. And whenever the mind gets addicted to positive, inspiring thoughts, it doesn't have the energy or time to entertain old negative ones. And when you make it a living priority to practice this vibrational routine every morning, you will find it super easy to be in a positive, connected state of mind all day long. So consciously choose right now to jump on the life you most want to create by visualizing and feeling yourself getting up early, doing your manifesting routine tomorrow morning. Keep it up for 6 days, and you'll see that the results will be staggering. A lot of us are figuring it out. We are. We're figuring it out. It isn't, it's not like, well, I'm going to spend all my lifetimes outside of me. See what I mean? I'm going to spend all my lifetimes outside of me instead of inside of you. And then when you spend them inside of you, it blows you away, because that's where you discover who and what you truly are. It's amazing. And then when you discover who and what you truly are, you spend a lot of your time within. And then you find out that it's connected to your power. And then you realize that all you do is you send out, you create a thought, send it out, and then let it go. And this is how we truly manifest things. See, because we've been raised on other people's thoughts every lifetime. And this is why you've heard me talk about that we repeat things. Have you ever noticed that? You might, at times look at and say, I've repeated a lot of things. It may have seemed a little different, so I wasn't, I didn't believe that I was doing the same thing. You ever done that? It kind of smacked of some similarities with something you've already done, but because things were a little different, maybe surroundings, whatever, your ego mind convinced you that it wasn't the same. Wasn't the same as that time. And then later on you find out that it was. And since it makes perfect sense and gives clarity to the fact that we're constantly being raised on other people's thoughts, and of course, how many thoughts are there on this planet? Billions and beyond. So if it's like the ego mind influences, it'll bring in things, it'll bring in thoughts. You embrace those thoughts as your own, and then you send them out. Now, if that wasn't the case, and it was the opposite, where we knew that our thoughts that we create and send out to the universe are thoughts that we created, not other people's. Not only that we were aware that we're sending that thought out and in perfect peace, which is within us, like in these meditations, and we know that it'll manifest. Not only that, we know it's our thought, and we know we've sent it out. But on the flip side, when you're embracing other people's thoughts and making them your own, what's going to happen? You're going to repeat things. There's no doubt about it. You will repeat things. You won't stop repeating things. You'll just keep repeating things. They'll be a little different, but they're the same things. And we do this lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. That's why you hear me say, do something different every day. Doesn't have to be huge. Doesn't have to be, catastrophic. But do something different than your routine every day. Okay? It could be, let's say that you're having toast in the morning with grape jelly, right? And so then you decide, I'm not going to have grape jelly, I'm going to have strawberry jelly on my toast. You shift it, just a little tiny thing, just something like that. But see, you're creating it. You're not repeating other people's thoughts. And the majority of people, well, all of us, repeat other people's thoughts. Well, one might say, well, why is that? Because we don't know who and what we are. See, if you master your thoughts, you know, when you send a thought out, you know that thought because you created it. Now, when a thought comes in, and it's tricky because it's so good, ego mind's so good, convincing you that's your thought. Feels like your thought, that's your thought. So what do? You embrace it, you give it power, energy, and you bring it in your reality and you experience it. And what happens is that as we do this, we become totally unaware for lifetimes that we are repeating over and over again things, and we don't know it. So one might ask, what would be different? Okay. What would be different if we created our own thoughts and then lived that way, knowing that those are our thoughts that we create for ourselves? It wouldn't be anything like it is now. You can shift at will. You create thoughts, you send those thoughts out. In meditation, you can see that's when you actually manifest. It's in the meditation, it's in the quiet time. And you send a thought out. One thought, one thing, doesn't have to be a cavalcade of many things, just one thing in detail, in total harmony and bliss. And you surrender it to the universe, and that's it. You let go. And it will manifest for you. Now, most of us do ego mind. Right? You could say to yourself you want a healthy body. And you do that through your ego mind. By 99.99% of the time, it doesn't happen, doesn't work. But through heart, mind, and meditation, it'll blow you away. But you can't fake it. A lot of people try to fake it. It's just superficial. And the ego mind is in charge. And believing for yourself, believing in your thoughts. Then you get to the point where these other thoughts that come flooding in, what is it, 60,000 that replay every day? You're able to identify them. And then you get really good at it. You go, no, that's ego mind. That's not my thought. I'm not interested in it. Some may come along where you look at them and you go, yeah, I'll take that one. But the majority of the time you say, no, I'm not interested in that. I'll create my own thought and I'll manifest what I choose. That's it right there. Create your own thoughts. Send them out with no attachment and no expectations. Be very detailed. Don't be half-assed with them. Let it go to the universe. Just give it to the universe. Then it will manifest. That's how it works. Most of us are taught differently. So it's like we create our own thoughts and not take in other people's thoughts. This is why there's so many people that are just disillusioned, confused, misdirected, because of that, because they're living a life that is not theirs. They're living a life on other people's thoughts. I join you in meditation. I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through your nose, and an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain relaxed into your body. Focus on your breath rising and falling, still as a statue. Acceptance will make you more relaxed and at ease. If self-acceptance comes in a trickle or a downpour, then they are right for you. Acceptance is the key to releasing all suffering and issues of avoidance or attachment. Allow yourself to accept everything that occurs today. This is not about being a doormat for the world. This is about following your heart with inspired actions all day long and accepting whatever shows up in your experience. Become an acceptaholic who accepts everything exactly as they are, yourself exactly as you are. When meditating, you experience an increasing feeling of lightness. Go with it. Weave it into your body. Ground it into your chakras. It is best to stay centered and integrate your experiences than to get lost in the thoughts they produce. The greatest meditators blend heaven and earth at all times with a deep knowingness that they are this connected, infinite source of goodness. Meditate today, like we have. Minutes, 60 minutes. Staying with the thought, letting everything be exactly as it should be. After you are done, soak in this feeling, idea, and experience through the rest of your day. Take this with you for the rest of the day into the evening and night the following morning. We'll return here tonight, Friday, June 6, 2025, a little after 9:15 p.m. Eastern. And Saturday, June 7th, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal gratitude at all times, no matter what's going on within you or outside of you. Open your heart and allow the magic to flow in